Alright, so I'm going to start off with my armbar series. This is definitely my favorite series on top. And whenever I teach it, I just really stress, and top wrestling in general is just being aggressive and being the first one to get to your breakdown, get to your bar, being aggressive and not waiting for the bottom man to react first. So when I'm on top, if the bottom man reacts first, then I'm always trying to catch up to him. Whether when he cuts his elbow across, I'm always trying to catch up to him. So if I can be the first one to go on the whistle and really make him react first, then I'll have the jump, so to speak. So what I like to do is I just go right to my tight waist chop. This is my main breakdown. And what I'm trying to do is I'm not trying to just pull him off to the side here. If I do this here, I'm going to pull him on top of me. This is not where you want to be. So what I think about when I'm going with my tight waist chop is I want to drive his body over this arm. So on the whistle, I like to go here. As soon as the whistle blows, I just slide, get my tight waist as tight as I can right away, real quick. So it's not really too big. I'm not sliding over or anything. I'm just really doing this. Hand is on the belly. He's just gonna go a little deeper, give me a bigger bite. That's all I want, right to here. Now once I'm here, I'm drive right over this opposite arm and chop right to there. Notice how you can keep your knee up his butt, if that helps, or just really keeping your hips behind his hips so you can drive him over. If I ride up high here, I can't get any pressure, right? So I want to make sure I'm staying behind his hips, so once again I can drive him up and over that arm. That's my goal. So on the whistle, I'm here, I'm lining up real heavy, right here, right there. Getting this tight waist deep. Now my hips stay behind his, I drive him right over, right to there. Okay, if I get a great chop right here, I'm going cross wrist immediately. Stop real quick. If I can get a great chop right there, I always go to the cross wrist. I like the cross wrist here because you can hit lots of tilts. I'll show a little bit of this later, but usually what happens for me is once I chop, I get a good chop, but then his arm will come out right here. So I got him on his belly, my hips are in right now, and I'm in a good position. What I like to do, and how most guys react from here, to do the push-up. Okay, they push up. As they push up, I see it as kind of a window, so I go flat again. So he's here, right? As soon as he pushes up, I go elbow to elbow. That's how I like to get my bar. As soon as he starts to push up, I go elbow to elbow. Once I go elbow to elbow, I gotta crank my elbow to my side, here. That's how I really tighten my bar up. So I'm out here, I'm wrestling. There it is. I go elbow to elbow, I drive forward. Once I drive forward, there's my bar. Once I got my bar, my number one goal is to inflict as much pain as possible. That's the way I view it, and that's where getting aggressive comes into it. If I sit here with my arm bar and I'm not getting out to the side, not trying to run it, it's not going to turn itself. I got to get out here and I got to be aggressive. Once I get my elbow to my side and I'm in good position, my next goal is to put his shoulder in his ear. I want to put his shoulder in his ear and run it over to his head. So whether you grab the wrist or just hook right here in the shoulder, it's fine. The main thing is you need to control this side of the body so when you run him over, he doesn't roll out. If I don't have a good hold on this side of the body and I run the bar, put it to the head and I run, I can get sat up for one, and also if I do run him over, right, you can circle out that way. So I want to make sure I got a good hold of his arm on the far side. So whether you want to go inside on the wrist, whether you want to hook, that's fine. My preference is just the hook right here. So I'll hook right in the elbow because as I run it, it kind of turns into a double armbar, which is pretty cool. So I'm here, I'm gonna hook right here, I'm gonna drive. I get out to the side, shoulder in the ear. I'm in good position right now. And you don't want to do this. This is a position that lots of people struggle with. I'm here, I step up here. See where my chest is right now? My chest is back. I want to keep my chest forward. If my chest is back and I try to run the bar, that's where you're gonna get rolled. You're gonna get rolled right through. So, my bar is in here, I'm in good position. Step up, forward pressure. Forward pressure is named again with the bar. As long as I stay forward, he's not gonna be able to sit up. If he tries to sit up right now as I'm driving forward, finish it easily. Change directions. This way. Different angle for you. Here, so I get my good breakdown. So let's go from the top again. Here, on the whistle, I take a bigger bite. Take a bigger bite. Now I'm going to drive. I want to keep my hips behind his hips. Don't come up high here. You're not going to get much forward pressure. Keep your hips back behind his hips. Drive him over this arm. He tries to come up. There it is. It's always going to be right there. Just got to look for it. Elbow to elbow and drive forward. There's my bar. Have a good bar. Perfect. Now I have my bar. I control the far side. You can go wrist, you can go hook, whatever you want. Now, once I have my bar and I control this far side, I need to get aggressive. I'm putting his shoulder in his ear, and I'm trying to inflict as much pain as possible. I'm right here. Forward. Forward. Shoulder goes in the ear. Now, I finish this a little differently. Some people like to sit through. All I want to do is drive him over and put pressure and all my weight on this shoulder right here, on the side that I have barred. So I'm trying to get the pin right now. I drive over, settle my hips. There's my fall.
The more pain you inflict, the better.
What's up?
The more pain you inflict, the better.
Absolutely.
Please demonstrate, please.
Yes. You know, that's, I mean, obviously it's pretty funny to hurt him, yes, but in general though, you know, on top, along with bottom, I feel like it's more of an attitude, you know. Obviously there's many techniques, but when you get a tight hold and you just get after it and try to break their arm off or, you know, be intense, you're usually gonna get the turn. Whether it be a tilt where you're being aggressive and getting to his wrist, whether it be an arm bar, you know, you're on top cranking a power half. If you're aggressive at beating the guy to the punch, usually you're going to be successful in there. So that's really my philosophy when I'm on top, is just trying to inflict as much pain as possible, be the first one to, you know, trying to win the whistle start. That's something that we really stress, trying to win the whistle start, whether it be on top or bottom. What that means, you know, I'm here. I'm being the first one to move. I'm fine right here. Good job. Trying to win that whistle start is you being the first one to react, getting the jump on the start, and then making him react to you. Making him react to you the entire time, as opposed to you reacting to him and being a step behind. So winning that whistle start is really important, and being super aggressive is important as well. So one more time. From the top, I'm here on the whistle. I'm just gonna cheat a little bit. Okay, if you're struggling and your guys are having a little trouble, maybe the guy's moving on the whistle, I'll pinch with both my knees. So watch this. As I get my tight waist tighter, I just pinch. It's pretty simple. It gives me a second. It keeps him where he's at for a second as I get my tight waist, then I can continue to work. So I'm here. Now I'm good. Okay? React a little bit here. There it is. See, it holds him there just for a split second. You get your deep tight waist, then you drive. One more, another side note is I like to wrestle from tight weights a lot, so I have quite a lot of side notes from here, but anytime you're trying to get a tight waist, the deeper your shoulder is, the tighter it's going to be. It makes sense. It allows you to grab deeper, right? If I can have it my way, when I go to my tight waist, I'm going to try to wrap up around his back. My arms are extremely long, so not everybody can do that, but you know, as I'm here, I'm trying to get here. See how tight it is right now? That's what you want. You want to try to deep your shoulder. You pinch. You know, grab a hold, whatever you got here. Crank it up. Now it's tight. Now he can't really breathe. You can drive over it. Once again, he posts elbow to elbow, right there. Punch in here, drive forward. And I got my arm bar in. I'm in good position. Control this side. Whether it be a wrist, whether it be a hook, whatever you want. Now, once you're here, you got to be aggressive and attack. Put the shoulder in the ear. Forward. Forward pressure. Shoulder in the ear. Drive over. Find your head. Wait for your head to hit. Tighten. Yeah, so. That's one that I really like to hit a lot. It's that simple bar. Control that far side. Be aggressive. Get that shoulder in the ear. Run it over the top. Drop your hips. That's most important. My next breakdown is, and I get it a lot, is when guys try to maybe hip heist or do a little bit of a sit out or even do a switch motion. They're always going to be leaving his arm behind. So, scoot his hip through. From here, muscle goes here. As soon as he's here and loses his arm, go right to the chop. So I'm not taking my hand off. All I'm doing is sliding. I like to go to the wrist because it's really tight. Okay, now I can get my bar and knees. Lift, bar comes right in. Simple. You know, and it's really just feeling. Even if he goes sit out. It's fine. Here, sit out. I switch sides, right? Switch sides, and I chop. You're always gonna find your chop as long as you're keeping good pressure. Okay, obviously, my goal is always to beat him in a punch, but it's not always gonna happen. Sometimes he's gonna sit first. Sometimes he's gonna, change me over. Whatever he does, it's simple. I'm here. If he goes, this hip comes under first. He chops. Okay. The better guys are gonna try to change me over, so he's gonna do a sit out this time. I switch it up. See what I'm doing? My hip is staying in front of him here, so go back on. As he goes sit out on me, as he goes sit out, I'm not trying to circle around this backside. Because that gives him too much room. Now he's going to circle this way, calling his feet. I'm keeping my hip on the same side. Watch my hips right now. As he sits, I don't care, it's fine. I'm right here. I am chopping. You can go here and chop, straight side arm, or you can go tight waist and chop, whichever one you like. But you want to keep your hip on the near side. Don't follow him in here. Okay, it's a tough situation because you want to follow him. You feel like you want to follow him. As he sits, then you want to get here. That's giving him great position. Now he's weights over his heels. He's ready to go right now. He's going to attack hands and cut away. I want to keep my hips in, and I really want to run my hips over his. So as he sits out, you can go knee block. There's three options. You can go far knee block, far arm block, or you can go tight waist and switch side. Or you can go tight waist, sit out again one more time. Tight waist, and chop it. I really like to go to the cross knee. It's simple and it breaks him down to his hip. So, turn this way. As he goes sit out on me, chop, go to the far knee, arm down. Now I got my breakdown. Keep sliding up. Slide up. Straddled right now. His hip's stuck on the mat. He can't do anything right now. Cross wrist, right? It's right there for you. Drive over. There's our cross wrist series. Okay, now I'm gonna